what's up, guys? Good morning. It is a Monday morning, and always well, not Monday morning, Tuesday morning rather. So I hope you had a good day yesterday. So today's obviously I want to talk about the Sullivans. Now, obviously it's been a little while, probably a few weeks or so since I last did a video talking about the Sullivans in particular and calling them out for anything. Well, obviously, recently, I saw that they've become friends with the NMs and have been planning to meet up with the NMs. Now, we all know that they probably shouldn't be being friendly with them and they shouldn't be planning to meet up with them, because of what Chris did and the fact that, the allegations that were made against him. It's like, why would you want, why would you, want someone like that to be around your kids? Why would you allow someone, you know, like that? Why would you, why as a parent would you allow someone like that to be around your kids? And I know that a lot of people say, oh, well, the allegations of, were proven as being not true, but they've never been proven as not being true. He's always claimed that the allegations were not true, but he's never. I mean, the one thing I think stands out about it, and I think, and as I said the other week, people are always overlooking this, is the fact that he never took legal action against the girls who actually made those allegations against him, especially when he's actually claimed that the allegations were false and weren't true. Surely, if someone's made allegations against you that you knew weren't true, you would want to take legal action against that person or the people or the old persons. You wouldn't want them to get away with that. And the fact that he's allowed them to get away with making those allegations against him just seems a bit odd, you know. And it's the one thing that people don't stop and think about. It's the fact that he never actually took legal action against them. This is what people should be questioning him on. Is why did he never take legal action against the girls that made the allegations against him? This is what I'd love to see. This is that question that I'd love to see him answer. Is why did he never take legal action against the girls who made those allegations against him? What were his reasons for not doing that? I mean, the problem with Ben and Zoe is that, they've obviously been fed that bullshit by Chris and Sarah about the allegations not true, or they've chosen to believe that the allegations made against Chris weren't true. And the thing is with Ben and Zoe is they would be stupid enough to believe that. They would absolutely be stupid enough to believe that the allegations against Chris weren't true, when we all know that they are, and obviously we all know that he sent, sexual messages to teenage girls. The Sussex police confirmed that he did send he sent messages of a sexual nature. There you go. None of that is bullshit. Although Ben and Zoe will think it is, it's not. The allegations are all 100% true. I mean, obviously, if you try to warn them about him, you're obviously wasting your time. You will get very quickly blocked. I pulled them out myself on TikTok for allowing allowing us to be around their kids, and have been blocked. By Zoe, simply. And at the end of the day, it's like do they really think that people weren't gonna call them out over this? It's like they can't want to be friends with the and being friendly with the inners and not expect people to call them out over that. People. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that people are even calling them out. I would say that people are trying to warn them about him, and they shouldn't be blocking people for that. They shouldn't be blocking people for trying to warn them about him, and obviously trying to warn them that he's not the decent person that they think he is. That's what they'll do. It's the same with the Radfords. I hope that this friendship that they've got with the Inhams comes back to bite them on the backsides, and it's the same with the Sullivans. I hope that this, and I think it will. I think that this will come back to bite them on the backsides, and I think that they will be made to realise that they should have listened to the people that were trying to warn them about him. Because this is the thing, they should be listening to the people that are trying to warn him about them, and I think they'll be made to realise that they should have done that. I think they will be made to realise that they should have listened to the people who were trying to warn them about Chris, and were trying to, and were trying to warn them that Chris is not a good person, and trying to warn them about what Chris did. And obviously, they'll, you tried to warn them about that, and you will get blocked. And that's what Ben and Zoe did. It's not necessarily hate comments. It's people that are speaking, the people who are actually speaking the truth. It's people who are trying to warn them to be careful. It's people who are trying to warn them that they shouldn't be allowing that man to be anywhere near their kids, especially their teenage daughters. Because we know that man is known to be a danger to teenage girls. It's like, why would you want someone like that around your kids? You know, it's like, why would you want, why would you even allow someone like that to be around your kid? Like, why would you be okay with that? I mean, if I was a parent, I would never, ever be okay with someone like that being around my kids. Never. Especially if they've been accused of something like what Chris was accused of. I would never take that risk. But the fact that Ben and Zoe are willing to actually take that risk is actually shocking. It's like, what the hell are they even playing at? Like, what the hell are they doing? Why would they want to take that sort of risk? I mean, why would the average want to take that kind of risk? Is a big question. You know, if anyone chooses to be friendly with the Inums, they are always going to get called out for that. That's how it is. Mm. You want to be friends with the Inums, then you should expect that you will get ripped to shreds. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And I do think that Ben and Zoe deserve to be ripped to shreds for this. I think they do deserve to be, ripped to shreds on all kind of, what you know, um, on all kind of social media platforms for choosing to, you know, be friends with them. Especially after what Chris did. I think that this will destroy, not only will it destroy their channel, but it will also destroy their reputations in a very, very big way. People, they will lose the respect of a lot of people. I've already seen a few people saying that they've unsubscribed to the Sullivan's channel after hearing that they're planning to meet up with the Inums and things like that. People have obviously lost that respect that they had for the Sullivans due to that. And I think a lot of people will lose respect for the Sullivans because of that. You know, I don't think they really, I don't think they realise just how much damage they will do to, that them meeting up with someone like Vicinem is going to do to their channel. You know, it's them being friends with the Yilums. People are not going to like that. People are not going to take kindly to that. People are going to call them out left, right, and centre on that. People are going to look at that and think, well, what the fuck? That's what people are thinking right now is what the actual fuck is. And the big question is why are they allowing that man to be anywhere near their kids, especially after what he did. This really, really baffles me. The fact that the fact that they would even want someone like that to be around their kids after what he did. There's no excuses for that. There's no justifying that. At the end of the day, At the end of the day, there's no justifying what he did. There's no justifying the fact that There's no justifying the fact that they're allowing that man to be around their kids. There's no excuses for that. We all know that Ben and Zoe should not in any way be allowing that man to be anywhere near their kids after what he did. That man, it's like, why was it? I mean, the question that there's that question of like, why the hell would you ever take that sort of risk? Why, as a parent, would you want to take that risk? That's not a risk that you should be willing to take. And the fact that Ben and Zoe are willing to take that risk shows what sort of parents they really are. It shows that they don't really care about their kids' safety. If they're allowing someone to be anywhere near their kids after that man was when that man is a proven child groomer who actually was involved to send sexual messages to teenage girls, and you're willing to allow that man anywhere near your teenage daughters, then shame on you. Why would you want that man anywhere near your teenage daughters? A man who actually was known to have sent sexually inappropriate messages to teenage girls? That is the big question. You know, obviously Ben, as I said at the start of the video, Ben and Zoe are definitely stupid enough to believe that the allegations that they made against Chris weren't true. The Radfords would probably say, I think the Radfords probably know that he did what he did, but they probably just don't really care, to be honest. And I think it's the same with the Sullivans. I think they probably just don't really care about the fact, you know, I think what they see is that, them meeting up with the Inums will get them a lot more subscribers, it will get them a lot more views, it will get them, it will make them more, they think it will make them more popular, but it won't. It will destroy their reputations massively. People are going, so many people are going to lose that respect they had for them, you know, if they choose to allow that man to be around their kids after what he did, people are not going to take kindly to that. People are always going to question what the fuck the Sullivans are actually doing by allowing that man to be anywhere, within 6 foot of their kids. Like, why would you even want to take that risk? Is the question that a lot of people should probably be asking. But yeah, I thought I would come on and give my thoughts on that this morning. I was always going to do a video about this. When I see things like this, I always feel the need to do videos about them. And I think it's important to do videos about them. I think it's important to hold people like the Sullivans and the Radfords out over the fact that they have chosen to be friends with people like the Inhams, and have chosen to, and they're actually allowing that man to be anywhere near their kids after what he did, because we all know that they shouldn't be. We all know that they shouldn't want that man anywhere near their kids after what he did. And it's sad that they're actually blocking people who are trying to warn them about him. And I hope that, and as I said, I hope that the Sullivans, I hope this really comes back to bite them on the arse, and I think it will. And I hope that they are made to realise that they should have listened to the people that were trying to warn them about this. And I think they will be made to realise that they should have listened to us. That's one thing I can guarantee for sure, is they will be made to realise that they should have listened to the people that were trying to warn them about this. They should have been blocking the people who were trying to warn them about him. It's like why would you block someone who's trying to warn you about how bad another person is? Because we all know that Chris ain't the perfect person everyone thinks he is. He's a fucking creep. And he's a fucking pervert. And we've seen proof of the sort of pervert that he is. He's got fucking perverted twat. He's got the words perverted twat written across his forehead. That's what I'm gonna say. And if Sullivans want that man in it, then what the fuck are they thinking? Seriously, what the hell are Ben and Zoe even thinking? Allowing that man to be anywhere near their bloody kids. Ben and Zoe are seriously fucking stupid. They are seriously not wired right. If they're not right in the fucking head. That's what I will say. They are not right in the fucking head. If they're allowing that man to be anywhere near their kids, they need their fucking heads tested. They really, really do. At the end of the day, them allowing a proven child groomer to be anywhere near their kids, that is a major safeguarding issue right there. That to me, allowing that man to be around your kids after what he did, that is a massive child safeguarding issue right there. you know, at the end of the day, the safety of their kids should be, should be massively important. But I think it's fair to say with Ben and Zoe that the safety of their kids really isn't that important to them if they're actually willing to allow a man that's actually known to be a proven child groomer to be anywhere near their kids. They are so fucking stupid. It's unbelievable. They absolutely deserve to be torn to shreds over this. 100%. How can they not expect to get hauled out for this? It don't work like that. They can't be being friendly with the Indians and not expect to get hauled out for that. It don't quite work like that. It's just that is basically how it is, as far as I'm concerned. So I hope you've enjoyed this video anyway. I'll see you for another one later on. Bye bye.